Hey, this is Derek. I'm going to try to take a look at Amazon's new advertising system. So this is the beginning of 2019. Amazon just put out an update to AMS advertising, which is Amazon's advertising. So to get into my ads dashboard, I just go to reports and then I click over here to add campaigns. And then I need to go to view your ads dashboard. So if you've used AMS ads or Amazon ads before, things look a little bit different. There's some things I like and some things I don't like, but also there's a way to customize it so that it's easier to use. All the information is there, and I think it's probably a step forward, so it's positive for authors, but it might take a little bit of getting used to. So one thing I really do like is that up here it shows really clearly the spend and the sales and the cumulative spend and sales. So I can, for example, see my lifetime spend, which I've never really looked at before, and it's interesting. You can see I've spent 15 grand and I've only made like 7 grand in sales. So this is pretty terrible. I've never been very good at Amazon ads. The reason I let them go is because I make a lot of money with Kindle Unlimited. So this isn't really accurate because I wouldn't have spent this much money unless I was breaking even or even a little bit positive. So I've made some extra money that isn't shown here. That's Kindle Unlimited page reads, but it's not great because it's not very clear and I can't really accurately see how many borrowers I've gotten or how much extra money I've made with Kindle Unlimited. But that's also why I really haven't focused on focusing on Amazon ads because I can't really scale up if I'm not profitable. So to be profitable, you want this to be below 100%, and actually you want it to be even lower, like 70%, because you should be taking into account other publishing expenses and things like that. I had actually turned off my ads. I think they turned back on when they switched over to the new system. A lot of authors were reporting that Amazon turned on old ads, which is not great. And also, I had a few books that were 99 cents. So at 99 cents, if you're advertising, it's really difficult to be profitable, and I was losing money that way. And even at $3.99 or $4.99 with a standalone book, it's still difficult to be profitable. But I'm hoping to finish some serials, or at least like the next segment, the next piece of a book soon. This year, I'm really going to be focused on putting out book twos or book threes. So once you have more books in your series or more books in your funnel, it becomes possible to advertise profitably. So I do want to learn how to, I want to keep up with Amazon advertising because I do want to be advertising once I have more books out. I don't want to just like put it off and not learn about it. So I'm going to go back here to date so far this year to date. And this is going to change, but right now it's the beginning of January. So this is only the last 2 weeks, basically. One problem here is that it shows me my product display ad campaigns, but it also says that product display ads will stop running February 5th. So that's kind of interesting. They're really changing the style of the ads. So I'm going to have to click and learn more about the new advertising features. But right now I'm just going to click over here on this to see my ads. And I just wanted to check that my product display ads are off. So I went through and kind of checked these out. These are all off. Product display used to mean that you could show your book next to specific other books. So rather than just by choosing keywords, for example, I could target a specific best-selling time travel book or something, and my book would show up next to that book. That's actually really powerful, but they're doing away with that and adding something a little bit different, which I think is going to be that it shows up on locked Kindle devices, which product display ads already used to do. So I'm not sure how big a change that will be. They might just be kind of renaming it. I'm going to go back over here to my campaigns and see what's currently active. If I scroll down, I can see the ones that are going. And so this all looks pretty familiar. I've got different ads for specific books. I've got a daily budget, which generally won't spend, like I don't spend $25 per day for all of these. You kind of have to play around with different bids, and you really should start with much lower bids, maybe $5 a day, just to kind of see if they take off. Most of my ads, you'll notice, like if they're spending at all, I'm not really advertising profitably. This is, this is my ACOS, which is the return I'm getting, and it's like 364, 197. Like I said, it really should be below 100, or you should turn it off. I'm a little bit looser with my spend because I know that I'm also earning some money with page read, so I kind of just look at my monthly expense. If I spend like $1,000 on Amazon ads, and if I make 1,500, I feel like that's still profitable. Although, actually, what's probably happening is my books already make 1,500 by themselves organically, and this extra 1,000 is kind of a waste. So I do need to be a little bit careful. There is some information that looks like it's kind of missing though. If I click on here, the way to kind of make sure your ads are profitable is to look at your bids and your keywords specifically. So on this particular ad, I could go into targeting and I could see all the other keywords that I'm spending on. I can see my bid. This ad's not spending any money yet, which is probably because I'm bidding too low for some of the keywords. It also looks like this particular one only has 5 keywords, which is kind of a mistake. You should probably have a lot more than that. If I click on keyword analytics, it says log into Machete. Machete is a third-party app that makes sense of data for Amazon ads. I think maybe I do have it, but I've never really set it up or installed it. There's a campaign history and there's a bid optimizer, which I would be careful about trusting Amazon with what they recommend. Recently, I think a month or two ago, Amazon just kind of upped all the recommended bids. So all these new authors just started bidding really high, which pushed up the price for everybody else, which is why November and December for 2018 was really difficult for full-time authors because they couldn't suddenly compete and get their books the visibility that they needed. So this is on another book, and under the keywords, I can see the spend and the sales. So I could click on here and see which keywords have spent the most money and which ones have gotten the sales, and then it'll show me the ACOS, the conversions. So some of these that are like crazy high, I should just turn off because they're not converting well at all. It's kind of losing a lot of money. That also tells me, interestingly though, these keywords, they're really good keywords. It's just that my book isn't a good enough fit. So for example, Academy is really popular. Young adult Academy books are selling really well right now, so a lot of people are searching for them, which is why I get a lot of clicks. But this particular book isn't exactly a traditional Academy style book. So in my description, I'm not clear that like this is an Academy book. It's pretty similar. She goes to like a magical school, but it's not close enough, and I don't make it clear enough in the description, which means I get a lot of clicks for the popular keyword, but my ad copy or my sales copy or my book doesn't convert for that keyword because readers click on the ad and then they see like, well, this isn't really what I was looking for. So I'm going to be careful about stuff like that with keywords. But you should also be aware, like I'm actually now working on several Academy books, which will be more obviously categorically Academy books, so that I can really try to match this keyword and also have the right product for the popular market. What I really want to see though is how many people are clicking on each of the ads and how much spend I'm getting on each of the ads. And that's not really showing here. So what I need to do is go up here to columns and customize columns, and then I can choose what I actually show. I'll try turning a lot of these on actually. So I'd like to see the impressions, the clicks, the click-through rate, the cost per click. I don't know if I care about the orders, if I can see the sales anyway, so I'll just try all of those. And so now my dashboard is already set up so that I have impressions and clicks. So now I can just see a little bit more specifically. You could have like figured it out on your own before if you looked at the total spend and like divided by the number of sales, but this just makes it a lot easier. I can see how many clicks I'm getting, how many impressions each keyword is getting. I can see the cost per click and then also the sales. And this is where you'd really want to prune your list. So most of these are doing okay, but this one, for example, it's hard to see the whole thing in this window. But this one is spending really high, so it's spent $21 and I've only made $4.95 back. I probably want to turn this one off. This one's actually mortal. If I scroll back over here, so this one's not really performing very well for me. I could turn that one off. This one down here is court. This one's chronicles. This one's gift. So these are popular keywords that people are searching for, but people who find my book and click on the ad don't buy this book because it's not close enough to what they're actually searching for. So that's going to really depend on the keyword and your book, how well your book matches the keyword that you're trying to rank for. It also looks like I'm just bidding too high. These were all set at 0.55, probably because like in December, like I said, the costs were getting really ridiculous, and I just wanted some visibility. Like I just wanted, to sell more books. So I got a little desperate probably and tried to outbid everybody else. And this actually isn't a huge bid. I know other people who are spending like $2 or $3 per bid, and you can do that if you have a big series, that costs $9.99 or something for the box set. But if you just have the one book, it's going to be harder to be profitable at the higher price points. So what I can actually do, instead of turning these off, the other option is just to apply their recommended bid, which is actually pretty cool. I don't think you could do this previously, but this just makes it really easy to lower your bids and apply their defaults. So like if it's spending less, I'll probably still lose a little bit of money, but I'll still get the visibility. It's also possible like this ad really hasn't been running that long, so these keywords have spent like $10 and they haven't converted very well, but that's doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to. Like with only 29 clicks, you really need like 100 clicks before you have accurate data, and even then it's not foolproof. But I'd be careful, like you definitely want to be careful against just wasting money, but you also don't want to make judgments after 18 clicks because they won't really be universal. But you can, like after even 10 clicks, you can already probably figure out why your book isn't converting or why that keyword isn't converting for that book. Anyway, so I kind of like the new dashboard. I haven't really played around with it enough. I do need to go through and prune my keyword list and make sure that the ads I've got on have a chance at being profitable by lowering my bids or turning off the keywords that just aren't working at all. I do need to pay attention to this kind of stuff. But that's how, if you were confused by the new dashboard, this is how you customize it. You go up here to columns, customize the columns, and then just check those other ones. I'm actually almost finished with the third book in a series. It'll be my first third book, which will put the price up quite a bit for the series, so I'll be able to advertise more to this first book in the series, which is really exciting. Although I just noticed I asked them to add the third book, which is already on pre-order. I asked them to add it into the series. Generally down here you'll have a list, like you'll have the other books in the series, and rather than adding my third book, it looks like they've just gotten rid of the series information altogether. So now there's no, the other books in the series aren't here on my product page anymore, which is a little worrying. I'll have to kind of figure out what happened there, but hopefully I'll be able to invest a little bit more in ads and figure them out. Basically, if you can't invest profitably in ads, then of course you're gonna quit pretty soon because you don't want to just throw money away. But once you have enough books out in a series to be able to bid competitively and still earn your money back, that's when it gets really exciting. So I'm excited to put out some second books or third books this year. Hopefully have a couple finished series by the end of the year and a couple box sets. That's really going to be a game changer for me in publishing fiction especially. So I haven't really done a lot with Amazon ads so far. I've kind of been playing around, but I plan to do a lot more of it towards the end of the year when I have more products out. So hopefully you're writing also, and if you're curious about ads, I'll have more videos and content out for you later in 2019. Thanks, bye-bye.